Welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you're gearing up for finals week or honestly just staring down a mountain of coursework that feels completely overwhelming, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're taking this highly motivational study framework and transforming it into a structured, practical, and intensely focused survival guide. We're going to break down the exact mental strategies and daily habits you need to stay locked in, push past those frustrating roadblocks, and literally maximize your academic potential. So, let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our chronological playbook for tackling the daily realities and, yeah, the anxieties of finals week. First, we'll look at the winning morning mindset. Then, protecting your study focus. Third, overcoming academic roadblocks. Fourth, why hard work pays off. And finally, reframing exam setbacks. All right, Section 1, the winning morning mindset. Because honestly, winning the day starts long before you ever step foot on campus. So the very first step of our survival guide is all about your internal environment. If success is the result you're after, you absolutely have to obsess over the process. From the exact second you open your eyes, your mindset has got to be wired to win. You're waking up with a win mentality to carry you through the whole day. Practically, this means before you even think about checking your phone or doom scrolling, you make a conscious choice to ban fear. You literally don't have the time or the mental real estate for doubt or thoughts of quitting. Try putting your phone on Do Not Disturb for that first hour just to protect your head. You have massive potential, but unlocking it requires building this impenetrable mindset right out of the gate. Moving on to Section 2, protecting your study focus. So, once your internal mindset is locked in, we've got to deal with the external stuff, specifically the physical classroom or the library. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is a stark contrast between the people around you and where your head needs to be. I mean, what if the person to your left is just completely pessimistic, complaining nonstop about the syllabus? Or the person on your right is literally asleep, drooling on their desk? It doesn't matter. You put on those noise-canceling headphones, open your book, and you build an impenetrable focus bubble. Your only concern is your locked-in mental space. You absolutely must refuse to let the negative, zoned-out aura of your classmates disrupt your flow. Think about it like this. This academic race is won by the individual who deliberately distances themselves from the pack. You just cannot absorb the stress and mediocrity floating around you. When everyone else is panicking in the hallway 5 minutes before the test, you walk away, take a breath. You have to physically and mentally separate your work ethic from whatever everyone else is doing. That is a fact, and it's a critical boundary to set during finals week. Which brings us to Section 3, overcoming academic roadblocks. Look, staying focused doesn't mean it's going to be a walk in the park. There will definitely be bad days. Let's be real. Have you ever hit any of these roadblocks, questioning your abilities, feeling like you're totally underperforming, or hitting that glorious brain explosion phase where the material makes absolutely zero earthly sense? I promise you, you're not the first person to feel this way. It's practically a rite of passage. But here's the thing you really need to understand. The students who can push through those storms, no matter what happens, are in the elite minority. You're part of that small percentile that actually breaks through. You were born with the DNA to push past the anxiety and crush these classes. So when you do hit that inevitable wall, here's your exact 3-step action plan. Step 1, refuse the pity party. You don't tap out, you don't concede, period. Step 2, go directly to the source. Knock on your professor's door during office hours. And step 3, demand immediate clarity. You politely but firmly tell them, hey, I want to succeed here, but right now I'm confused and I need help. I guarantee if you show that kind of passionate ownership, they will bend over backwards for you. Sitting silently in the back row settling for mediocrity, that's just setting yourself up to fail. And failure? Simply not in your DNA. All right, Section 4, hard work pays off. Let's shift gears and look at the sheer mechanics of outstudying that exam anxiety. I want us to adopt the ultimate exam season mantra, HWPO, hard work pays off. Listen, winners never lose focus, and honestly, they're horrified when someone offers them a supposed easy route. Why? Because we already know the truth. There is no easy route. There's no magical cheat code to suddenly absorb a whole semester of material overnight. I mean, if it were easy, literally everyone would do it. You've got to avoid that ignorant mindset entirely and just commit to the grind. You get out exactly what you put in. So, you pour your heart and soul into the homework. You block out your calendar, you sit in the chair, and you give it absolutely everything you've got. And you know what the best practical reward is for that level of dedication? You get to sleep like a baby. When you know deep down that you did everything possible, success basically becomes a foregone conclusion. Your anxiety naturally drops because, objectively, you couldn't have done a single thing more. And that leads us to section 5, reframing exam setbacks. Because we have to ask the scary question, what if you do all of that, you put in the blood, sweat, and tears, and life still knocks the mess out of you with a bad grade? And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate stress relief hack for finals week. You never fail, you never lose, you only learn. Look, sometimes you study hard and you still fall short. It's just part of the process. When that happens, you don't panic. You reframe it. You look that setback right in the face and you say, because of this, I am stronger. Because of this mistake, I am wiser. You use that bad grade as actual, hard data to figure out exactly how to tweak your methods for the next one. Because of this pitfall, I am smarter. You're actively adapting, adjusting those flashcards, refining your whole approach. And most importantly, because of this setback, I am hungrier. Adversity shouldn't deflate you. It should literally fuel you to hit that next study session with twice the intensity. Which brings us to our final thought. You were born to be spectacular. You have absolutely everything it takes to jump over these study obstacles and push through the adversity. Inside you right now is a dormant volcano of success just waiting for permission to erupt. So, the question is, will you use these practical steps to protect your focus, put in the hard work, and finally grant it permission? Take this framework, sit down at your desk, turn on Do Not Disturb, and go crush those exams. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer.